G'day everyone, and welcome. Today, I know I'm a little bit late to the party on this, but I just want to quickly talk through at least all of the ships that are available as a result of the festive rewards, and just very, very quickly just give my opinions on what ships I recommend people should be picking up. I do apologize, I would have made this video a bit sooner, but I've just been recovering from wisdom tooth surgery, so yeah, being able to talk has not been the easiest thing in the world. But without any further ado, let's just talk about the 5 ships that you can get at least at tier 10. I won't talk about the tier 8s in this video. If you guys do find this useful, I can make a tier 8 video just talking about the ships, but we can get that in a second. So, out of the 5 ships here, we've got the different choices are the tier 10 British carrier, the Audacious, the tier 10 American submarine, the Palau, the tier 10 German battle cruiser, the Schlieffen, the tier 10 Japanese destroyer, Shimikaze, and the tier 10 Dutch cruiser, the Golden. Now, these, obviously, if you are missing a particular ship or you're after something in particular, grab that ship that you don't want to grind. But let's talk about some of the nuances between each of the different ships and the grinds going through. In terms of the grind, I would honestly be skipping Palau and Audacious. They're not the most fun grinds in the game, and considering the fact that they've only got 3 ships in their line, because they are carriers and subs, which only have the even tier split, it's a little bit boring to go be playing the same ship, so for example at tier 6 and then at tier 8 for a lot longer compared to, say, other ships of other classes. So I don't normally recommend trying to grind those out unless you obviously really want to. So in any case, I would say, hey, maybe consider picking up the Audacious or the Blau if you really don't want to grind those lines, and so you've got another tier 10 in your port. The Shimikaze line is actually really quite a fun grind in my opinion. I do like the torpedo boats. I love my Shimikaze. It is a fantastic torpedo boat, obviously with 15 torpedoes. It's historical ship. It's just a fantastic little torpedo boat, and I've loved mine for the longest of times. This line I thought was actually quite a nice grind. I've done it a couple of times, and it's just a really enjoyable torpedo boat to be able to be playing down and everything. So I do recommend actually grinding throughout the Shimikaze line. It will teach you how to play destroyers and stuff properly. So definitely, I would say if you really want the Shimikaze, I would encourage you to grind it, because the grind is one of the shorter grinds in the game. I think it's the second shortest in terms of base experience required, followed only by the Hirugumo, which is the cheapest line to grind in terms of experience in the entire game, with the Shimikaze being a very close second. So I do recommend actually playing this one, but if you haven't even started and you really want the Shimikaze, pick the Shimikaze. Schlieffen is another one which is a lot of fun, but it does require a few captain points to actually invest in it to actually make it worthwhile. The secondaries on this thing is absolutely nuts. You can take this into operations, into ranked, into randoms. This thing is a monster. With the secondaries, it's got fantastic torpedoes as well. You've got some of the German Hydro as well. Fast-acting Dancon. The line is a lot of fun to play. Stuff like the Ruprecht at tier 9 as well. That is fantastic to be playing. I remember really enjoying the tier 7 with the Heinrich. The Z10 is a little bit odd-looking. Looks a bit like a Star Destroyer, but that one was also pretty good as well. And just that line overall is a lot of fun to actually play. So I would recommend, say, grinding the Schlieffen, but if you want to just get the Schlieffen straight off the bat, go for it as well. You've got that option there. If you're low on captain points, I would recommend probably trying to get some captain points in operations, for example, with it. And it is a lot of fun to just like have the secondaries going off, particularly if you do manage to get, say, Lucians on the ship. And the secondary talent that he gets when that does eventually proc, which is this one over here, the secondary battery loader, which reduces the secondary battery reload by 15%. It's a lot of fun, and I do love playing my Schlieffen. Just keep in mind you do need quite a fair few captain points. Golden Liu as well the line is alright. I do think the crowning reason why you want to get the Golden Liu in particular is for one very, very particular reason, and that is the usage of the legendary mod that you get on this thing. Now, that does require a fair bit of investment. You obviously have to have grinded a fair few lines, but once you do get legendary mod on the ship, it becomes really quite special. You get to have 3 of the infamous Dutch airstrikes, and you get a reduced cooldown on it as well. So that's where the most fun comes from this ship for me. It's a good ship. You do burn for quite a long time. I believe it's a 60-second fire duration base. But once you manage to get this legendary mod, it is a lot of fun to actually be playing, especially if you can make those airstrikes count. So how would you prioritize actually picking the ships? And I'll just reiterate this one more time. If you have every single ship in tier 10, like I did, the best way I would say is pick whatever ship you want to get the most rewards out of. So for example, for the Balau and the Audacious, it was something like 470,000 free experience, I believe, plus all the other associated rewards. So I picked the Audacious in my case because it gives me the most amount of free experience. The Schlieffen, Shimmer, and Gurden, they cost about 320, 330, or 340,000 free experience, I believe, off the top of my head. So if you have all of them, just pick the one that gives you the most rewards, so the most free experience in this case. If you're wanting to grind something, I would be picking the ship that you don't want to grind the most, because it means you can skip the entire grind and you've got another festive certificate here at tier 10. Otherwise, just pick whatever it is that looks most interesting to you. And that's just kind of a little bit of a nutshell about how I'd go about choosing what ship to pick here. If you guys want me to actually play these ships, I can look to start taking into some games in a bit. That's not for this video. This is purely just a discussion to talk about which ship you should be picking. If you guys do want to see gameplay, I will either be streaming that live on Twitch throughout the course of this week, link down below in the description, or I'll make some videos if you guys really ask for it. Thanks all, that's all I wanted to cover today, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time.